Hello everybody, and today we'll be making this wonderful fridge magnet using the magnetic paper from Silhouette. So the first thing that I'm going to do is import the photo that I want to use into the Silhouette design software. So to do that, just go to File and then Open, and then wherever you've saved your photo, click on your photo, click OK. And then it should open in the Studio software. Mine's too big, so I just need to select it and scale it down. I've chosen to do our family pet, my mum's little fur baby. His name is Pip. So once you've got it to the right size, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to add the registration marks. So you need to go to the page layout because we're going to do print and cut with this, and then registration mark window, and then select the machine you've got. I have a Cameo 3, so I'll be selecting that, and you need to change yours depending on what you have, and then just move your image so that it's not in the crosshatch area and just slightly away from the side. And then the other thing that you need to do is make sure that your page is a custom setting and that it's 28 length and 20, I think it's 21 across, and that will make sure the registration marks are printed in the correct space. Okay, so once you've done that, what we need to do is remove the white part of the background from the picture because we want to cut around it. So to do that, I'm going to use the tracing tool and then go to trace area and then just make a box around my picture, and then you see it goes yellow. Now I want the whole of my picture to be yellow that I want actually to cut, and to do that I just move the threshold toggle further up until it all goes yellow. There we go. And then I do trace and detach because I want it to actually bring the picture away from the background. And select it and just pull it away to make sure it's done it properly. And I'm just going to delete that white bit because I don't want that. There we go. And now what I'm going to do is I would like a border round. So if I did it now, it would cut all the way around right next to the picture. So I'd like to offset the border. So I'm just going to the offset tool and selecting an external offset of 0.5 millimeters. Sorry, 0.5 centimeters. And then I'm just going to highlight that and just move it slightly to make sure everything's outside of the crosshatch area. And I'm just going to check that it's in the right place before I go to print. Now you've actually got two cut lines here. You've got the one that's like directly in contact, which I'm showing you here, that highlighted red one. I don't want that to cut, so I'm going to make sure that's selected on no cut. And then the one that's the offset line is the one I'd like to cut. So I'm going to make sure that that's highlighted as a cut line. And then just to show you what happens if you're too close to where the registration marks are, if I just move it slightly over, you can see that it's gone like a transparent red rather than the dark red that we want. Now that means it won't actually cut because it's too close to the edge. So you just need to move it to make sure your red line is all bright red before you cut, before you print, sorry. And then all you need to do is go to File, once you're happy with it, and Print. And it should go straight to your printer settings. So when you put your paper, your magnetic paper, into the printer, make sure that it's white side up. And I also had some just plain A4 paper behind it just to give it a bit more weight to it. Okay, so it printed super easy. It went straight through my printer, no problem. And then go back to Silhouette Studio, go to Send, obviously mount it on your mat and put it into your machine. And then I just selected the the magnetic paper, printable paper, and I just used the settings that were preloaded into the machine. Now my Cameo isn't actually plugged in at this point, which is why it was blank. But once you've plugged it in, it should just press send. And what it does now with the new software is you don't need to tell it to look for registration marks and then tell it to cut. If you just press send, it will find the registration marks first automatically, because it knows it's a document that needs registration marks. So that's what it did there. And now it's just sorting out its cut settings before it goes to cut. So as you can see, I've obviously got printed side up here. And it's just going to cut all the way around that offset. So I found that with just one pass, it did cut it quite well, but it just needed a second pass to get all the way through the material. So I would recommend, when you did this yourself, that you actually use 2 passes. And as you can see, it's just cutting the one line. That's the offset line that we selected earlier. Okay, sorted. And here's the finished piece, all cut out and stuck on the fridge. Thank you very much for watching.